go to Weasel, cause the Weasel say, pop, yeah, come.
Yeah. Half a pound of tuppenny rice, half a pound of treacle. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel.
You're going to be a successful WWF villain hated by millions.
Yeah, I did a Arsenio Hall show once by myself and once with Rick Rude. Well, the first time I did it, I took my wife with me. And they put us up at this one of these nice French hotels in West L.A. So I was sunk in the living room and hot tub and really nice. Fly out there first class, they pick you up, limo, take you over to Paramount. Over off Melrose. Put you in the dressing room, put your name on the door with a star, put a cop outside the door, and you never talk to Arsenio or nothing. But I met Mike Tyson there that night. Oh, really? He was dating a girl that works on Arsenio's show. And when he shook my wife's hand, he squeezed it real hard. My wife had to jerk away from him. I guess he just don't know his strength and don't care. Yeah. Well, the reason he was there is because he was dating her, and they used to give him a golf cart. He could ride around Paramount all day and look at all the set and lots, and no one would say anything to him. No, of course not. So this night, they take us up to the dressing room, and we go down and I do the Arsenio show. And I come back up to the dressing room, and they had a basket with a ham and a summer sausage and cheeses and mints and stuff, little breads and cookies. I see my wife starting to walk out with the basket. I said, where are you going with that? She said, well, it's for us. I said, I know, but we don't take it. She said, why? I said, it'll be like the first time we did a show, like the Clampers come to town. you think every star that comes in here takes their basket? She said, well, I'm taking it. I said, no, you're not. Go put it back in there. If you wouldn't put it back, I wouldn't say hello to Arsenio, thank him for everything. We go back to the room. Went and had some few drinks, went back to the room, and I said, boy, I wish you'd have brought that basket. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, there's nothing to eat now. She opens up her purse. She took everything out of the basket. She had a ham. She had stuff that weren't in the basket. She had a guy's wallet. She had a Shriner's cap. She had everything in there. I said, oh, God. The next time I did Arsenio's show, I felt I should apologize for taking the basket. He said, no, that's for you. It's a gift. I said, well, I didn't want you to think we were deadbeats or nothing. No. Next day, I get a basket in the mail. He sends to my wife with an Arsenio Hall doll and a jacket for my daughter. Yeah. So I told my wife, steal whatever you want. I said, next time we go someplace, why don't you line your pockets with baggies? That way we can steal soup. I was in the Beverly Hills Hotel one day. I was staying there, and I was going downstairs to go out to get my car and go to Beverly Hills, do some shopping. So my wife went on the elevator, and as I go down to the second floor, the door's open, and there's a guy standing in the bathrobe. He says, Brian! So I yelled back his name. We get on the elevator. He said, what are you doing here? I said, I'm going to the Comedy Awards tonight. I said, are you here for that? He said, no, I'm doing the $50,000 pyramid with John Davison for Dick Clark. So my wife got off and left. In the Beverly Hills Hotel at that time, there was an arcade underneath stores. He was going to the pool out to the cabana. He said, so we stopped in every shop on the way there, and we did 20 minutes of shtick each place. People were laughing because I'd done his show twice before earlier in New York. It was Soupy Sales. Oh. So on the door, he says, Brian, I said, Soup. And he really is a good guy. And we talked for about, we went to every shop for a couple hours. Wow. And good guy there. Good guy. With the Comedy Awards at the Shrine Temple in L.A. Like I said, it was jam-packed with stars. They had like Jonathan Winters there and the Reiners. And we sat at a table with Joyce DeWitt from Three's Company and George Carlin, a comic, and J.J. Walker from Good Times. He was a real jerk. Really? Yeah, I wouldn't talk to anybody. I went to Ray Combs' comedy club in Cincinnati when I opened as his guest. He didn't know I was coming. His agent called me. So he was up on stage, so I went there and had a handheld mic in the back, and I said, hey, Combs. He stops the show, it's during the show. He looks around. I said, hey, Combs. He said, who is that? I said, I'm over to your left. So he turns to the left, and everybody in the crowd looks to the right. I walk up on stage, and he turns around, sees me, and we hug and everything. He introduces me to everybody. He whispered to me, go ahead, do 5 minutes. So I turned around. I couldn't see anybody because all the lights there. And I can make you laugh, and I can sit in the dressing room and make people laugh. And I froze. Because I didn't have any material. And I didn't know these people. I didn't feel comfortable. So I didn't know what to say. So I turned around and I said, there's not enough money. And I left. I didn't know what he was going to make me do. So I went back to his dressing room, and a bunch of fans came back and asked for autographs, and they asked J.J. Walker. He was his main show that night, main act. He wouldn't sign autographs for anybody. Yeah. Didn't know who I was, naturally. And that was that. That was fun to do that. Oh, Comedy Awards. So, you got to see this place. I mean, there are every major producer and star in comedy is there. The only reason I'm there is because the guy is a fan. He likes their shtick. So I'm sitting there. My wife and I get up. We go. Each side of the room is a buffet. Prime rib, lobster, anything you want. So I'm standing off the side and I'm talking to a guy named Gary Owens. He used to hold his ear and laughing. And he was a wrestling fan. Him and a guy named Willard, a big guy. He's a comedian. You know him if you saw him.
Fred Willard?
Fred Willard.
Oh, I
yeah.
love Fred Willard.
Yeah.
He's so
We
funny.
were all talking. Another guy was there. Guy does the commercials for Red Roof. Blonde guy. I forget what series he was in. I was introduced to him. He said, hi, I don't watch wrestling, I read. So I was talking to them, and my wife was having a cigarette. So I walked over to her, and she looked around the room, and she said, no one here is smoking but me. I said, yeah, you're right. She said, I'm embarrassed. What do I do? There's no ashtrays in the place. I said, okay. Take a puff. Put it in your mouth. This is the truth. I said, and drop a cigarette. I'll step on it. She says, okay. She takes the puff. Drops the cigarette. I take 3 steps back. And I yell, what the hell are you doing putting a cigarette out on a floor in a nice place like this? Now they all look at her and only see a puff of smoke come out of her mouth. 3 days, Beverly Hills. No sex. No talk.
No talking.
Nothing. Then we go up to the room. So, we call room service. She's still not real happy with it. As we were leaving the Comedy Awards, I'm standing up front talking to Steve Allen. And Steve Allen did one of our WrestleMania. He played the piano and the bullshit. And I introduced myself to him, and he, good to see you again, everything. And his wife is Jane Meadows. And on each table, they have a centerpiece. She's got 3 in her arm. And he says, look at that. She steals everything. I said, my wife just stole everything from Arsenio. He said, they don't give you nothing here. I told her, I said, you beat Nick one more time, you get to keep him.
To put the word in the streets.